course, she should have a stake in the Eggo Corporation. She plays 11 on the show, Millie Bobby Brown. All right, don't follow his love advice at all. He plays Lucas Sinclair on the show, Caleb McLaughlin. He broke 11's heart at first, but we forgive him. He plays Mike Wheeler on the show, Finn Wolfhard. And finally, so the entire cast is nominated, of course, for an ensemble. This guy is also nominated, he plays Jim Hopper, of course. And by the way, you're going to see him. He's so buff, we now call him Bopper, Mr. David Harbour. Well, congrats, all of you, and congrats, David, on the nominations for SAG this time out.
Thank you. Thank you guys for this. Thank you for my name.
This was quite a season, but of course, for that,
Yeah.
well, Finn and Millie, let's talk about, so today on Twitter I asked, okay, Stranger Things fans, what's your big question? What do you want to know about the show? And they all came back with hashtag Melevin, which apparently is the couple name for Mike and Eleven. Did you know this, by the way, that you have a hashtag?
Yeah,
you get it.
it's been a while. It's been 3 years and still going strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're aware. Yeah, we're very aware of it.
Well, you got to play some real fun moments as a couple this season. Talk about that relationship and playing this sort of teenage love, both the highs and the lows of these characters.
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah, I think it was really fun.
Yeah, also the first moment of the table read, we were all, this big opening, huge budget, explosions with Russians, and it's like, cut to interior, like bedroom, day. Mike and Eleven sloppily make out on the bed. I'm like, what? How do you follow that with that?
I think it was just really, it was needed. I think this relationship's really blossomed, and I think he fell in love with her just for being a normal. Abnormal, young girl who's really going through it, and I think it's really fun to watch him go through it too. The awkward moments, the good moments.
Well, they're also trying to be as normal as possible. Like, that's what they think. It's like, oh, we're just good. It's all over. We're gonna have a normal summer and just make out, and that's what couples do. And
yeah,
it does not last long at all.
Absolutely not.
Because apparently,
I'm very angry.
yeah, you're insane. You're an insane person.
Completely insane.
Which also was the best. And doing those scenes where you're screaming at a 14-year-old's face constantly.
I really like screaming at you. There's something really fun about it.
Therapeutic, maybe?
Yeah.
But not to mention, I think it was quite. I mean, it's obviously it's not easy. It's very. You've got to think about it. You're being told to put your head a little bit more to the right, or perk your lips more.
The kissing. I thought you were talking about yelling in the face.
No.
I was like, that's really easy. Look at my hair. Just scream that. It's really easy to make fun of it.
No, I think that David definitely enjoyed that. But I think it was very difficult doing those scenes because you're trying to, match the lines with the scene itself, and it can be tough. We definitely rehearsed and tried to figure out the best way possible to make it comedic but also fun, and so it was tough, but we got there and it looked brilliant at the premiere. My dad loved it.
Sure he did. Well, my two favorite, I think, moments of this relationship is when Eleven says, Mike, I dump your ass. But then the other one is when Eleven says, Mike, I love you too. There's that touching sort of...
Millie Bobby Brown, yeah. It's definitely that. I think it was needed. You need her to separate herself.
My grandma told me when she was watching that scene, she went like this.
Right, Team 11.
Very cool, Grandma. Not on my side. How are you?
Yeah, you need to show her growth separately from him, and then bring them back together in the end. But you need to see her grow on her own, and that's what Max's character does, is brings out her individuality.
Caleb, your character also has sort of that. And did you see much of each other, or were you busy sort of shooting separately, or how much interaction was there?
I've never met them.
Exactly. It's awkward.
No, we all saw each other in passing. Because it's almost like...
I haven't seen Maya for
Yeah, I didn't
for a
see
long
Escape
time.
Street.
I was like, oh, hi, I'm Millie.
I didn't even know Gaten still existed.
Yeah.
Like,
We're like, oh, Gaten, good to see you.
I think
We were like old,
like
co-workers that haven't seen each other in a long time.
But
We're
when
like, oh,
we
we
reunite
used to be friends.
in the mall. It was like very real. You know, when they're running up to each other and I'm sorry. In the end, when they're running up to each other and they're like reuniting, I feel like it was real. And when I saw Gaten, I was like, oh, it's actually him.
We hadn't seen Gaten really we hadn't worked with him. We went from every scene in season 1 and season 2 to like 5% of our scenes with Gaten.
I didn't see him like for 2 months at a time.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, there he is.
no, I didn't see my sister at all. Where was she? Where's...
She was having quite the adventure.
What are you doing?
If you, had seen Carrie and of course Princess Bride and all the other things he's done over the years, and what was it like to sort of see him now playing this character in an '80s set show, and having some fun with it?
Dude, I don't know. I was so... When I saw you for the first time at the table read, I don't think I knew that you were being cast.
You just thought he was like a narrator. Yeah, this guy.
So you're reading
Just
scene
didn't
direction?
laugh.
Or... I mean, I freaked out. Men in Tights was one of my favorites. No, genuinely, and genuinely, it's an honor to have you. And everyone who joins the cast, it's always the same thing. I always get, whenever new characters get added, I get so happy for them because it's like it's honestly so weird and rare that you get a chance to be on something like this, but when someone else gets added, it feels like you're recruiting someone else on this really weird, like you feel like a special mission team or something like that for just like insane actors. I'm always so happy for the people that come on.
I think because like when somebody else gets added, it's like you're kind of reliving you getting the part again. It's like that excitement is kind of like, oh my goodness, I know how you feel. And it's really cool. Like even when Sadie was added to the group, we were all like, oh my goodness, like she was so excited and also very nervous, kind of like what Maya said, just like going into like school again, which was quite literally her. She room together in New York City.
Yeah. How many times did you audition?
I went in once.
Okay.
I shot a couple scenes, and I did it like Jake. I was like convinced that this was nonsense and that like I'd never get it. And this was a courtesy thing while they waited for Ewan McGregor to. And then like a week later, I got it. It was crazy.
It was also different for the kids too, because I remember ours was I think it was the longest process.
2 months.
But I think I didn't find out. I auditioned. I think I started auditioning. I did my self-tape in June, and I didn't find out until I was shooting until August.
And you guys were reading Stand By Me scene.
Yeah.
Right?
We were doing that, and also the first D&D scene, like the very first scene that starts with it,
And also, like, Noah read a fictitious scene, I think, between you and him or something that they had written on the spot.
Because we
Winona and I
needed
were
to know
cast
that he
first.
could pull off being the lead of the second season.
Right.
They're having that big storyline.
Winona and I were cast first, and the Duffers actually sent, when they found the four of you, the four of you, I keep forgetting, and they keep growing each season. The four of you, they sent us, they were so excited that they sent me your tapes online or whatever. And I was like, holy shit. These are like the best kid actors I've ever seen.
Well, also, and this is also another thing, like, this was a fluke. I feel like for me, like, and for I think a lot of us, because I self-taped from my bed when I was sick. So like,
I thought you said when you were 6.
no, not it was a while ago. Yeah,
This was a
they
while.
kind of they were like, oh, that's pretty cool.
For 5 years.
Let's wait 5 more years, and then he'll kind of. I mean, yeah, we'll see. But no, yeah, I mean, I auditioned sick from bed. My dad was like, "You got to. This is your great sides." And I was like, I'm sick. I don't want to do it." And he was like, "You got to do it." So I did it from bed, and my dad's finger was in the frame half the time, and it was out of focus. And then they're like, "The Duffers would really like to Skype with you," and I'm like, "What? Really?
Also,
Why?"
The Duffers were just 2 kids at
Right.
that point,
And that's
you've never heard of.
Right, and then I Skyped with them, and then they talked to me about Evil Dead for 40 minutes at the end. They were like, "So we want to fly you out to LA." And I was like, "What insane thing are you running here where you cast a kid sick in bed and then fly him on a plane to Los Angeles to
Your
get
intro
drunk?"
was like, "Hi, I'm Finn. I'm sick."
Yeah, that's what you said.
And he was in
You
bed
said, "Hi,
with
I'm
his.
Finn Wolfhard. I'm sick." We were like,
That was
"Ah."
my intro.
Yeah, but it was the best intro.
And
Well,
then
you might as well have said, "Hi, I'm Finn Wolfhard. I'm magic."
I'm a magic boy.
Yeah, and then we all flew to LA together. I remember Finn and I and this other person. I actually don't remember. We all sat on the sofa with Carmen, and Carmen was like, "There's nothing to worry about. Just read your lines, have fun with it." And we were like, "Okay."
Yeah, I was
The next
really
day,
we were
we
all. I
walked
was
in.
so terrified.
And I read with another boy, and then read with another girl, and then we read together, and it was like,
Yeah.
we just knew.
Yeah.
I looked at Finn, and Finn was like, "I throw up," and I was like, "Yes, me too." God, somebody feels the same way.
And then I met
We
you,
met each other.
and you came in the room just
Yeah.
like so. I was like, this guy.
I know. I kept asking you to go to the pool with me, and you were like, "Yeah, sure." And then you just did it. Oh, man.
We eventually we had breakfast.
Yeah, we did. We had
We
breakfast.
did have breakfast, and then Dayton comes in, and the first thing he's like, "Yeah, I just got back from." He's like, "Yeah, I was in New Jersey." And we were like, "Oh, cool, you live there?" He's like, "Yeah," and we were like, "Cool, how do you like it?" And he was like, "Oh, New Jersey's the greatest, best, you know. A lot of heroin, but I really, you know, it's home." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, all right." And he was like, "You know, I got no collarbone." I'm like, "Jesus, you're full of facts." You want to see what I can do? Yeah, does the thing in the audition room, and the Duffers were like, "Holy shit!" And they saw it, and they immediately wrote it in the show. Like the first thing, they went home and they wrote it into the show. He said, "I have this thing called craniocordial dysplasia," and he did the thing that is in the show.
Maybe we should just put like the shoulder touch.
The show, something like that, and he did it in the first 30 seconds he was in the audition